Hello, hello, how are you? Okay, so today we're going to, this is my most requested live, and I'm going to share with you guys how to apply wax-based foundation, different application techniques. So this is my most requested thing that I get from people, because not only can you use this for regular foundation, but this is really great for just all around any type of foundation application. So this is going to be good for anybody. Okay, so we're going to get our foundation ready here. That is not it. Here it is. Cheerio. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to show you how you can do it with a blender, with a diffuser, and then I'm going to show you how you can do it with a paintbrush. I'm also going to show you how you can also use like different types of techniques with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to get my face kind of prepped and ready. And the reason why is because you want to make sure that you are getting your skin properly hydrated, because if you don't hydrate your skin, it's not going to look very good, right? We want it to look good. I have like a bite or something on my neck. It's really weird. Maybe a mosquito bite or something. I don't know. A vampire bite. Okay, so one of my new favorite loves is I mixed Skin Therapy, which is my lotion, with the Perfecting Glow. And the reason why I like to do this, because it kind of makes it look a little bit darker. Okay, not too much, but just a little bit. So I just kind of mix it together. Do you see how it just gives it a little bit of natural glow on the skin underneath? And it's basically like a tinted moisturizer is a good word to say, huh? A tinted moisturizer. Now this comes off at night when you wash your face, so it won't be stuck on there for days, but look at the color it gives you just on here. So if you can imagine what it would do on your skin. So if you look here, I have more color to my face. Bob, stay out of stuff. Okay. My dog's been following me down here, but he's not been following directions. Okay, so we're going to first apply concealer underneath the eyes, because look at my dark circles. They're really, really bad right now. They're very, very bad. Okay, so I'm going to take just a little bit of my concealer just to kind of cover just to cover that area just a little bit. Okay, just because my dark circles are really, they're very prominent today. I don't understand why. Oh, well, I do understand why. It's called being a mom, huh? Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just take my blender full and I'll just kind of pat it under there. Okay, just so I know it's somewhat ready to go. Now, if you want to kind of get your skin ready for application, you can go in with some of the redness of your skin and kind of conceal that area first. So I always just kind of go in lightly with that same concealer I used for the purpleness. I use it for redness as well. See how it just kind of conceals that area right in there? It's just covering that redness. This is the same thing you would do for pigmentation, darkness, all that fun stuff, okay? So you can see here I have pigmentation. You could use this little brush right here. And as you can see, I have some brown pigmentation. So I just covered it, took this brush, and it just covers it right up. See how that works there? Just kind of go over here. And I'm just covering that brown, okay? Do you guys see all that brown pigmentation that I have there? And then I just gonna go in and I just blend it all in, okay? Now you can just take your finger in there and just kind of thicken it up if you want to, but I like to apply that to the pigmentation, and you can go in and kind of just feather out where you put that darkness coverage and just kind of apply it all over if you want to. This is going to show you how well it covers redness. You can use that brush, or you can use the same brush that I was using here. Okay. Look how well that covers that redness, okay? Just covers it, Bob. It just covers it really, really well. So I like to just apply it underneath the brow. And if you're like me, I get purpleness in this area right in here. Now, some of you may struggle with redness on your nose, like me, and right in here, okay? So as you can see, I do more with concealer than probably most people would do. Because if you apply concealer, you don't have to use as much foundation, right? So that's why I like to apply concealer, because then I don't have to use as much foundation. Okay, so let's talk about two different application techniques. I'm going to show you one side and I'm going to show you the other side. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to apply with a blending bud. Okay, so a blending bud, when you're using wax base, it needs to be latex and silicone free. Now, why is that? Because latex and silicone can, you know what I forgot to do, guys? You guys are supposed to yell at me when I do this. I forgot to prime my face. Gosh, guys. That's why I was like struggling getting that concealer on. I'm like, what is going on here? So, and it's totally okay that I put that on after my concealer. Okay, so as you can see, it's very like bouncy. It normally is a lot smaller. I don't know where my other ones are. I just got a new one. You should change out your blenders every 3 months, kind of like your mascara, if not every 2 months. I have some people who just don't wash them and they change them like every month. So it just depends on what you want to do. I clean mine. Mine's not clean right now, but I do clean it. I love how it has like the eggshell to it. You can get in certain areas underneath your eye. Okay. You can get all those areas. That's another reason why sometimes I wait to spray, because the setting spray actually keeps that concealer from creasing underneath the eye. Okay, so we're gonna use this blending bud, okay? And, oh, gotcha. So I'm gonna show you how I use it to apply, okay? So I'm gonna do this side of my face with that, paintbrush up here, and then I'm gonna do the diffuser on this side, okay? So you guys are going to see the different techniques. So I'm going to take this blending bud, and I only have to do maybe 1, maybe 2 for the whole face, okay? So all I'm doing is I'm taking this blending bud, and that's all I've had to do, okay? Now look at that. Okay, so all I did was counterclockwise it, and I just patted it, and then I went in and I'm just bouncing it. Okay, so that's all I did. Now some people wait to conceal after they're done applying, which you can do that. I actually recommend highlighting after. Some people actually highlight before, which is weird to me, but not I. So this is the sponge. Okay, this is the sponge area. So I'm going to take a quick snap. Okay, let me see here. Let me see if I can get this here, because I want to be able to. Okay, there we go. So we got the picture. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you can apply it with this paintbrush. Okay, so the paintbrush is actually really quite nice because you can use this for concealer and you can also use it for foundation. So I'm going to show you how you can use this for concealer. So all I did was pat it into the highlighting concealer, and I'm just patting in that highlight, okay? I'm just patting it in. You can go in with your blender again and take it on the side with the foundation, and it just blends it right in, okay? So that's why I like this brush. It really helps with that, okay? Next thing, I'm gonna show you guys how you can do this brush with this area, okay? So with any type of wax foundation, you wanna get it warmed up. So it's just like a Scentsy pot wax, okay? So I like to just kind of go in and wipe that in. Now, you can apply this as light as you want or as thick as you want, okay? So I'm gonna show you how you can get it really thick, okay? So do you see how I got that really super thick in there? Because I wiped it multiple times on that. Now, if I just want it lighter, I just do a swipe. And then I use this all over the forehead, okay? So that's how I make it look less filled. So we'll go back in here. You can layer it again. So are you seeing the difference in application? I'm layering it, which you can do, or you can leave it light. Okay, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Okay, so that's the other way that you can apply wax-based foundation. Now I always take my blender when I'm done with that, and I always go in to make sure it's evened out, okay? Because we want to make sure it's evened out, right? So again, you can use a blender, 2 rotations, pat it in, but I go psh, 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 psh when I'm doing my whole face, and then I pat it all in. With the painter brush, 1 swipe, and then go back in. If you want more application, okay? So that's how I apply it with that. Now my diffuser brush, I prefer the most because it's the fastest application I've ever had. So all I have to do is I get my hand into the wax and I flick it on my face. I take this little brush right here and I'm barely patting it on there. And all I'm doing is I just stippled it on my face, okay? All it requires is for me to stipple it, okay? Now you can already see the differences in application. You can see the blender, you can see the diffuser brush, and you can see the painting brush. Okay? So you can make it more if you want to. Some people prefer thicker coverage. This is a little bit lighter coverage. Okay? If you want to, you can go more with it. It's just like the painter's brush. Okay? You just apply more. So, do you see how the blender can be a little bit more of a thicker application? We have the painter's brush where it can be thinned out, but you can make it thicker. This is a more faster way of applicating, and you can go thicker or you can stay thin, okay? Now, if I use the diffuser brush, I'll go in with this painter's brush, and that's when I apply that concealer, okay? Okay, so you can see the differences of application. Now, it doesn't matter what application you use, you always have to end with a translucent powder. So you always want to take a translucent powder. Okay, so take a translucent powder and you want to just apply that all over the foundation. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, translucent powder makes my skin look white. Actually, some of them do. This one actually does not give you flashback, and it doesn't give you that weirdish tint to it, okay? Some of us are just not used to seeing translucent powder on us, okay? So we have the Blenderful, we have the painter's brush, and we also have the diffuser, okay? So it's totally based upon whatever finish you want. Do you want a thicker finish? Do you want the painter's finish? Or do you want the diffuser finish where it's a little bit faster if you're busy and in a hurry, okay? So you could do one layer, come back in and do another layer, and then I always finish with patting it in. You can even use your diffuser brush or your Blenderful to put on your translucent powder. You just do the same thing. You just counterclockwise it and then pat it in, okay? But you always want to set your foundation with a translucent powder and then finish with a setting spray, especially with wearing masks right now, okay? So it's very, very, very important because you want to make sure that you're locking that in for the full 16 hours or you're wasting your time, okay, guys? So that is how you apply wax-based foundation, okay? So I hope you guys have a great Friday. Happy Face Off Friday, and I will see you guys tomorrow. We're going to do a really pretty eye look tomorrow, so I will see you guys tomorrow.